You said something about cremation.
The people, if it is according to scripture that people are going to bury some, or you can do the
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, either or.
Cremation.
That's what you're saying.
Here's the thing. As it relates to when somebody die, when you die, you're dead. All right. So you ain't. It's not like the body that you leave is just a vessel. All right. All of them people, they went and they put all them sepulchres, up to those kings that died and all that other stuff. But the Most High, that ain't the sepulcher he talking about. All right. The sepulcher he talking about is a church. All right. There's a deal where's that thing where when Abraham by that field. Hold on a second. Let me hold on. Little elder stuff will get these cobwebs out. Try to get these cobwebs together. Y'all have mercy on old elder Stephen here, man. He having some challenges. But hold on, let me see what I can put together here.
Small break.
Yeah. And anybody have anything that they want to add, they can bring it as well. But hold on a second here. Genesis 23, yeah. It's gonna be Genesis 23.
He offers him money in verse 13.
Yeah, okay. That's the one I want. Now, the question that he has is whether or not it's okay for somebody to be cremated versus somebody being buried, if that really makes a difference. Okay, here's the thing. There's a misunderstanding of what the Most High is talking about, because the people are accustomed to going to the dictionary and getting a dictionary understanding of what the Most High is talking about, right? When the Most High is talking about, when he's talking about burying somebody in a grave or in a grave or in a sepulcher, or he's talking about a church, right? The Most High is not making a distinction on whether or not somebody is supposed to be buried in the ground or in a mountain or in a sepulcher or whatever people are speaking of. He's not talking about that, all right? He's talking about, when he says buried in a sepulcher, he's talking about a church. He's talking about a church. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But we're gonna use the example what he used over here with whenever he went to bury Sarah, to give y'all the understanding of what it's saying. All right. So Misha, if you'd be so kind as to read for me, that would be great, man. I really appreciate it.
You got it. Genesis chapter 23 and verse 1. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. Okay.
Now what y'all need to understand is, now Sarah is a woman, ain't she?
Yeah.
All of the precepts that we speaking of right now, they're gonna be at the bottom of the screen. You're gonna see them at the bottom of the screen. Right now, you're looking down there, you're seeing a woman is a doctrine. All right, where you can find it at. Sarah is a woman. A woman is a doctrine. Chapter 7. And hit that arrow. We're gonna come down to verse 4. Read that for me, Elder Misha.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister.
So it's telling you, sister, which is a female pronoun, it's telling you that a sister is wisdom. It's all of the women in the Bible are doctrines. Wisdom is a doctrine. Y'all got that? Read on.
Yes, sir.
And call understanding thy kinswoman.
He just called understanding his kinswoman. A woman is a doctrine. Y'all got that? Next verse. Go ahead, Elder Misha.
Verse 5. That they may keep thee from the strange woman. From the stranger which flattereth with her words.
Women are words, doctrines. Y'all see that? It's telling you a woman is a doctrine. A woman is a doctrine. So now we're giving you another precept showing you that a woman is a doctrine. Read that for me, Elder Misha.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 15 verse 1. He that feareth the Lord will do good. And he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her.
He just called her, which is a feminine attribute. He just called her the law. That's a doctrine. Knowledge of the law. A woman is a doctrine.
Verse 2. And as a mother,
mother is a feminine word. Read.
Shall she,
feminine, read,
meet him, and receive him as a wife.
Wife is feminine. So all of these things are wisdom and understanding, like we mentioned in the beginning here. Read.
Married of a virgin.
A virgin, that's a woman as well. All of these are women. Next verse. See what these women are.
Verse 3. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him.
Okay, so he's telling you, understanding is she. He's comparing she to the bread of understanding. Y'all got that? Keep reading.
Yes, sir.
And give him the water of wisdom to drink.
He compared her to the water of wisdom. A woman is a doctrine. A woman is a doctrine. So let's get back to Genesis here so y'all can see what happened to Sarah when she died. Read that again, Elder Misha, because now y'all know that Sarah is a doctrine. Y'all got that? That's Abraham's doctrine name was Sarah. All right, read that.
Genesis 23:1. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old.
Years are wisdom. So the level of Abraham's understanding. Remember, the Most High say he gonna only let a man live 120 years. All right. After all of those our forefathers, they got up to be 900 and something years and all that other stuff. They had so much understanding that they went and took that understanding and started learning all these other different doctrines. Okay. They had too high a level of understanding. So the Most High saw the danger of that. And he said, a man gonna only live 120 years. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
He letting you know that Abraham one of the few that was more than 120 years. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
So his doctrine was very powerful. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. Read on. Go ahead, read that.
These were the years of the life of Sarah.
Next verse.
Verse 2. And Sarah died in Kirjath Arba.
Kirjath-Arba.
Kirjath Arba. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan.
Okay. So it's saying that he fulfilled all that he could with Sarah in that land right there, right? It's in the land of Canaan. All right. So it became a powerful doctrine in the land of Canaan, right? That's what Abraham was teaching them people. He was teaching them the doctrine of Sarah. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Read.
And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her.
Okay, so he knows now he's getting ready to move on to a different doctrine that he done created. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Next verse.
Verse 3. And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you.
Okay, so he letting them know, I'm not originally of the belief system that y'all are from. Right? Read.
Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight.
Okay, so what he getting ready to do, he getting ready to open a church with the doctrine of Sarah in it. Can y'all see that? He ain't necessarily burying a person, right? He said, give me a possession of a burying place. All right. I'm getting ready to open up this church that I may bury my dead. The dead is the people who don't have the proper understanding. Y'all got, give them three types of ways to die, Elder Samuel.
Yeah, you know, it's one way you can be put in the coffin.
One
way you can be kill that old person, reborn again. And one way you can
The Walking Dead.
murder, walking dead.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing. He was what he was doing, he was putting the dead to rest there.
Yes, the walking
You see
dead,
that?
whenever they convert,
Yes.
they gonna go to his church. Y'all see what's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like bury people.
Out of his sight, out of his doctrine. Don't think he's not saying I don't want to see him no more. That's a modern term. Okay, get out of my sight. That ain't what he's saying. He's saying he's gonna bury his dead, the people he convert. He gonna cause them to believe using his sight. All right. Don't get caught up in the way that these people talk today. That's what he's saying. He getting ready to open up a church. That makes sense to y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Next verse.
Verse 5. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my Lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres, bury thy dead.
He's saying, we gonna adopt your doctrine in any of these churches that we got here. We willing to allow you to teach your doctrine in these churches. You see that? Who don't see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Read.
None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead.
He's saying we all willing to teach your doctrine, Sarah, in our churches. Y'all see that? This is where the confusion comes from, because they think he literally put this lady's bones in the ground. That ain't what he's talking about. You got to understand that a sepulcher is actually a church. A grave is a church. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Read.
Verse 7. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth.
He got respect for them. All right. Read.
Verse 8. And he communed with them, saying, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me to Ephron, the son of Zohar.
So he's got a specific person that he wants, church that he wants the doctrine of Sarah to be taught in. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Read. Because he's converting all of them people. All them people, Abraham, he done already explained to them the doctrine of peace. Remember, this is after he met Melchizedek. All right. He done already met Melchizedek. He got the doctrine of peace. Melchizedek gave him the doctrine of peace. It was either Genesis 13 or 14, one of the two. When he met Melchizedek, Melchizedek gave him the doctrine of peace. He gave him tithes. Tithes mean he asked questions and got answers from Melchizedek. All right. He got that spiritual doctrine. He got the doctrine of peace. Y'all see that? Now he getting ready to put it in this man's church. Y'all got that? Over in the land of Canaan. Next verse.
Yeah. Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
That he may give me the cave of Machpelah.
Cave is church. Any type of dwelling is a church. When it says David was in the hold, David was in the cave. He had a cave. He's saying, okay, some dwellings are palaces. Solomon dwelt in a palace, so they have a really opulent type doctrine. All right. But a cave is a humble church. We consider the cave. We ain't got tens of thousands of people in our church. We in a cave. It's smaller. It's humble. Y'all get what's going on? There are degrees of churches. That den that Daniel was in, the lion's den, that den is a church. The furnace that the three holy children was in, that's a church. Y'all see that? Any place where you dwell is a church in the interpretation of God. All right. And again, these words are at the bottom of the screen. You'll see them. Read on.
Which he hath, which is in the end of his field.
So he talking about the end of his field. Field is the word. Okay. All right. It's a carnal understanding. He telling you, he getting ready to convert that man's church to a church that follows Sarah. Sarah now has the doctrine of peace. Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Read on.
For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it thee for a possession of a burying place amongst you.
Okay, so now whenever he's talking about money, he ain't talking about cash. All right, don't get twisted in the way that these people think. Money ain't cash. Money is doctrines and men. Money is doctrines and people. People with doctrines. That's what the money the Most High care about. He care about doctrines. All right.
Isaiah 13, 12, Jeremiah 6 and 30. When you're talking about money, that's what always go to the spiritual side. What it's talking about.
Yes.
Always go to the spiritual side. Because if you go to the carnal side, you're gonna get confused. But I just went through the scriptures, and I'm gonna show you my answers in a little while. When I just went through every thing that I possibly could think about.
Yeah, and add in whenever you, because we want to make sure that we cover everything. So don't think you got to wait to the end. Start it whenever you see something you want to add it. Matter of fact, You already got a tab for Proverbs over there, sis. Pull up Proverbs 23 and 3. 23 and 23.
This is a scripture that when I noticed the camps use this. They rule over households or people's households. And then the Bible says, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house. Because once you start doing carnal, thinking carnal, you're going to lead into something and you're going to say, wait a minute. You know that in Exodus chapter 20, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor or thy neighbor's house. So the thing is that you know you have defiled the doctrine once you tell a person how to work out their own salvation. You see, our job is to correct the doctrine. That's all Christ was talking about. Correct. Jesus was walking, correcting that doctrine. Because I went through Abraham, how he was buried, Isaac, Jacob, and Elder Stephen brought up Sarah, and it's talking about doctors. Everything it's not talking about, and I'll be straight up, and I want elders to go do his thing, but it's up to them. Can everybody fit into? You say, be like Abraham, but you see how Jesus broke it down. He said, "Do the works of Abraham."
Yes.
He said, "Do his works of Abraham." Don't worry about that after life. Do the works of Abraham.
Yes.
That right there, it says a whole lot. He just asked how, it said, man cannot live by bread alone. And that's basically what Elder Stephen is talking about. Worry about living by God's word.
Yes.
Because when you're gone, you're gone. Everybody cannot fit in the cave of Mamre. If I try to follow Abraham and do everything that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did, then I need to find the cave of Mamre. You see what I'm saying? Because that's where they at. That's what the Bible say. Exactly. So when you go carnal, then people worrying about the afterlife. How about trying to get this doctrine down and then worry about whoever gonna bury it dead, because it's done, it's over.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It don't specifically say in the Bible that a man get points in life to get salvation if he be prepared properly, as they say, buried properly. Far as the body being dead in a coffin.
That's carnal.
The proper way is carnal. The proper way is being buried when you kill the old man.
Yes.
You see that's what you focus on, because if you go toward the left side answering the question, they're gonna lose focus. Then they're gonna focus more on I don't want to be cremated. I don't want it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Deuteronomy 29, some things are everything we don't know. It's secrets, the hidden secrets that belong to the Most High. And that's why people get technical, because they try to reach for answers that bewail somebody, and that's not bewailing me. It's the purpose is living your life according to what the Most High says.
Yes.
You remember that scripture Christ told this man, Christ went to this man, and this man was following Christ. And he said, Jesus, I got to go bury and that's basically what Stephen is talking about.
Yes.
He said, I need to go bury my father. He said, if you follow me, let the dead bury the dead.
Right.
He ain't talking about carnally putting them in the ground. No. He's saying, if you follow me and learn this doctrine, you spread this word, he'll be able to kill his own self and bury his own self.
Yes.
Yes.
You see that, Elder Tobiah?
Yes. Definitely.
He could bury that old man.
Yeah.
Bury that old man. Don't worry about the afterlife.
Right.
You want to live your life so you can get the afterlife. Don't worry about that, because I cannot find no scriptures. I went through scripture. I cannot find no scriptures that everybody can fit in the cave of Mamre.
Just can't. You can't.
I can't.
That's right.
I can't. So, but that's what they do. It's haven't found anything. And bring that up, Stephanie, and I'm gonna hit on some scriptures too.
Okay. This right here. So now it was talking about money, him paying money, right? Right here. Go ahead and read that for me.
Proverbs 23:23. Buy the truth.
That's what money. That's what money buy. The money that the Most High care about. That's them doctrines. That means you trying to find out the truth. You trying to find out his doctrine. All right. Don't sell that. Buy that. So how you gonna buy it? It's a doctrine. You buying and selling doctrine. That's the only thing the Most High care about. When he trying to buy this sepulcher, it's a church. He buying it with wisdom and understanding. Keep on reading. He gonna tell you that anyway.
Also wisdom and instruction and understanding.
Y'all see that? That's what he gonna buy this sepulcher with. Y'all see that? He gonna go and he gonna teach them people. Elder Samuel just said something about Christ say, do the works of Abraham. You see him, we explaining the works of Abraham right here. Because he in the land of Canaan. He ain't got nobody but Ishmael and Isaac right now. All right. But he teaching all these people. He ain't teaching the quote unquote carnal seed of him only. He teaching all these people. That's what we reading about, how he was doing it. He was going and he was giving his understanding and wisdom to these other churches. Go back to Genesis 23, Elder Janice.
And I'm gonna give up some examples of some people how they were buried. Mm-hmm. And of course we know about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Mm-hmm. But it's not like Elder Steph is saying. It's not necessarily focused on the carnal body. It's about that doctrine with the Most High.
It's the only thing that matters to him.
That's the only thing that matter to him, because it's when you start going carnal, they're gonna take it carnal.
Yes.
You know, because the scriptures say 1 Corinthians 6:19. I just looked up, he said, I'm the God of the living, not the God of the dead. Yes. So you see what I'm saying? Right. So it's more focused, how you live your life. Mm-hmm. That's it. I can't find a proper burial as a carnal body that's crossed over to the spiritual world. Right. That's properly that's in the Bible, because everybody was buried with their fathers. When they say and he was buried with their fathers, that meaning the person that he taught them, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's who they were. Of course, they was not. You see what I'm saying? They was they buried with their fathers, the ones who they followed. It ain't talking about a carnal grave. Everybody didn't fit in bed with. I mean, the cave with Abraham. No, you see what I'm saying? It don't make no difference. My question, but I want Elder Stephanie, because he doing the right thing. I can't find. I went through my whole mind. When you took me back 5.5 years, 5, 7 years, 8 years, I said I can't find nothing to say the person cannot be cremated. Right. Correct. Because it ain't talking about. You see what I'm saying? It ain't talking about. It's about doctrines. It's basically doctrines. I can't find it. I mean, that's what I did, and I'm gonna give some examples in a little while. Yes. But read that again.
Genesis 23:9.
Mm-hmm.
That he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for a possession of a burying place amongst you.
Okay, now, whenever it start talking about possess ain't talking about physically grabbing something and holding it. Whenever it's talking about possession is when you converting somebody. So he's letting you know he getting ready to convert them people. Like whenever the Most High said in Isaiah 14, he said that the children of Israel will possess them. He's saying they gonna teach them. That's what it's saying. They gonna teach them. All right. So he's telling you that doctrine of Sarah is gonna be taught in this particular church. All right. So don't get caught up in he actually talking about him being buried in the ground. That ain't what he talking about. All right. So that's the basic understanding of, as Elder Samuel was saying. We don't want to go too deep because Elder Samuel got a class he want to teach today. But what the basic understanding is, the Most High don't care about this body after you die. This is nothing but a vehicle, a vessel that you exist in until you die. He cares about the doctrine that you follow while you live in that body that he gave you to exist in. He want to know whether or not you did according to what he said. Now, this doctrine that the Most High has is infinite. Okay, it's infinite. He got it's just too much for any one man to understand it. Right? He took it away because the prophets stopped teaching. But he sent Christ to tell you what you needed to do to get salvation. That is to love your neighbor. Don't worry about what's going to happen after you die. Worry about now when you got an opportunity to control whether or not you get salvation, which is, he said, love your neighbor. He said all of the law hang on that love your neighbor. Love God and love your neighbor. That's what all the law hang on.
Yes.
If you can do that, then you get mercy. Mercy means even though his law is very complicated and there's a lot of steps in there, ain't no way you could possibly learn all of his doctrine. You can't. So he's going to give you mercy for not knowing all the facets of his law if you don't hate your brother. Y'all see how that works?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now we still have the opportunity, because we got life, to go through here and explain some of this stuff, what it means, what he's actually saying. Because all of us sinning. Okay? Because we can't possibly know. It's so many layers of this law. You can't possibly keep all of his law. It's impossible. But if you love your brother, that's the first law. Love your brother. Whenever he said, let there be light, the understanding was that was in the beginning. Love your neighbor. That's what it was in the beginning. So at the very least, you should be able to understand whenever it comes down to dying, right? When you finally give up the ghost, as they say, that body that you were in doesn't matter anymore. There was a man by the name of Jesus. He came along. He did a lot of good stuff back in the day. He told us that the stuff that he was teaching us would help us to understand what them prophets wrote. And that's what we doing. But when they killed that man and that man died, that man was dead. But that doctrine that he left, which is called the Christ, that's still going on even to this day. So the man really don't matter. The physical man don't matter. It's that doctrine he left that matters.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All praise.
Yes, sir.
1 Corinthians 13:3, just to back up what it's about. That subject right there, but Elder Stephen, he said it. I mean, that's just, it's not talking about, people get, would that make you more righteous when you're dead if you get buried properly and according to their standard?
Go ahead.
That's how you live.
Elder Janice. Go ahead and open up another one. Go ahead. You said 1 Corinthians what? Put the King James up. Read that for me.
1 Corinthians 13:3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned,
see that?
And have not charity, it profiteth me nothing.
Because if you read that corner, he actually think he about to jump on a stake and they burn him. And because people, when they read that, they back up for that scripture, but we know what he's talking about, his doctrine. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're gonna burn this doctrine. That's his body. You see, we're his body.
Right.
So we're gonna that's how we burn it to give charity, the understanding. You see that? Yeah. It's all in how if you stay. Of course, we all know about Jerusalem, but it's not talking about. I honestly, I went through my head. I went through scripture. I found them and this and that. I said I can't find nothing that a person cannot be cremated. I have not found it. That they couldn't get the kingdom. I have not found it. I have not found because I just couldn't.
But they don't have. They're not giving you a law. All they saying is that's how the way they'll say it is all our forefathers was buried in sepulchres. But they ain't buried in sepulchres. A sepulchre,
you see that?
That's in the side of a mountain somewhere. You dig out a hole in a mountain. But y'all digging a hole in the ground. But y'all saying that's a sepulchre. That ain't sepulchre.
That ain't no sepulchre.
That ain't the same thing. So if you want to do like Elder Samuel was saying, if you got to do just like Abraham did, well, you got to go and y'all got to drill a hole in a mountain and put the man inside a hole in a mountain. See, but that ain't what happened with Abraham. I mean, if that happened with Abraham, then that means you got to do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
But he ain't talking about that.
No.
It ain't talking about that.
You got to learn what these words mean. These words have specific meanings to them. And whenever you learn that in the language of God, a sepulcher, a cave, a grave, a pit, all that stuff mean the same. A palace, a house, and all that stuff mean a church. Okay? Even the temple that they talking about, they built that temple and all that, but Most High said he don't dwell in buildings made by hand. You a temple too. So whenever he talking about a temple, he ain't talking about that big building over there. He talking about you. You a church within yourself. That's just levels up. What'd you say? Paul was a tent maker. See that? Christ was a carpenter. Jesus was a carpenter. They built houses.
Go to Genesis 4:9-29.
Like, Elder, would you say the whole thing is happening in your mind, right?
Yes. The entire thing.
Yeah.
Now this is about Jacob. Okay, when he died. When he died, he already told his sons how they're going to be at the later end. He's talking about their doctrines. That's what he's talking about.
Oh yeah.
Genesis 49:29. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people.
Wait a minute. He gonna be gathered unto his people. Those doctrines that he got gonna gather his people. Those doctrines gonna gather his people because he's talking about his doctrine.
Yes.
Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite.
In that church. Now,
that's the same church he buried Sarah in.
Yes. The same church of understanding peace. But go to Genesis 50:3.
Let's go
Genesis 50 and verse 3.
Go, yeah, there you go.
This is just a little thing right here.
Genesis 50:3, and 40 days were fulfilled for him. For so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed.
Wait a minute. You mean Jacob was embalmed? Was Abraham embalmed?
Nope.
Was Isaac embalmed? Read.
Nope.
And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days.
See what I'm saying? Because they wasn't embalmed, but he buried him on the customs of the Egyptians.
Yes. Yes.
You see, so it's all in brother, when that body gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Like my dad just said, he said it won't be back.
Yeah. That's right. You say ashes to ashes and dust to dust. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. It's over.
When you read about Saul, even by Saul, my class ain't gonna be too hard. It's go to Saul. Saul was all about.
That's gonna be in 1 Samuel.
It's gonna be but the thing is, when Saul was so go to 1 Samuel 31:11.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna show you something about Saul. You know, some people and I know somebody now this way, and y'all can put it in your mind. They are so scared that his legacy gonna be ruined.
Mm-hmm.
He cared more about his legacy being defiled than the Most High's doctrine.
You said 31, didn't you?
From? Yeah, 1 Samuel 31 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
That Saul was a mess, man. That guy was crazy, man. That guy said, I'd rather die for my doctrine be defiled. I don't want to be here if it's defiled.
1 Samuel 31:4. Then said Saul unto his armor bearer,
That person that defended Saul's doctrine, his legacy. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
The armor bearer is protecting Saul's doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we are the Most High's battle axe.
Yes.
We got up his shield. You ain't gonna penetrate his doctrine. That's who we are. Read.
Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, draw thy sword, and thrust me through therewith.
Read.
Lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me.
He didn't want that doctrine defiled.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'd rather die. Read.
But his armor bearer would not.
He didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
For he was sore afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it.
See, he'd rather kill himself first. We know who we fight.
Right.
Read.
Right.
Verse 5. And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him.
His first
doctrine died. His doctrine died. That's the difference between Christ and all these other doctrines. They killed Christ the man, but their doctrine didn't die.
They didn't die.
They overthrew the church.
Yes.
And they didn't had the church for thousands of years now.
Yes.
But that doctrine has risen again. You can't kill Christ's doctrine. Saul's doctrine, ain't nobody care what Saul's doctrine is.
No.
Because Saul's doctrine was replaced with David's doctrine. That's the doctrine Christ was following. He the son of David. Now we his son. We sons of David. We following the same doctrine that he followed. It don't matter about that man.
Well, it don't.
The human that died, that don't matter. What matters is that doctrine living on. But Saul's doctrine died.
It died.
His armor bearer died. The people who was teaching his doctrine, and the doctrine died.
But we're gonna show you who ended up picking it up. Even that doctor was the foul. We're gonna show you who picked it up. Read. It died. It died. It was no more good. Read.
Verse 6. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor bearer, and all his men, that same day together.
Read.
Verse 7. And when the men of Israel that were on the other side of the valley, and they that were on the other side of Jordan, saw that the men of Israel fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they
saw that understanding. When they on the other side, they saw that understanding. That's what it's when it said the other side, they had more spiritual understanding. They could see that doctrine wasn't no good. Because these men coming to tear them up. Yeah, of course, Saul is dead. Read. It's coming.
And they forsook the cities and fled. And the Philistines came and dwelt in them.
And them, those doctrines, they had possessed those doctrines. Read.
Verse 8. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen in Mount Gilboa.
Mount Gilboa, that's a doctrine, okay? That's a church. The doctrine wasn't no good no more. It wasn't strong among the Israelites no more. They done discarded Saul's doctrine.
Yeah, the Philistines tearing it up. They taking that doctrine, they stripped them with them precepts and everything. I mean, read.
Verse 9. And they cut off his head and stripped off his armor and sent into the land of the into the land of the Philistines round about.
They said that doctrine. They had that doctrine now. Read. See, here it comes.
To publish it in the house of their idols.
You see that?
Among the people.
See that?
Now, hold that. This is what they do. We know who we dealing with. You ain't fooling us, buddy boy. Y'all see that? Now they got his Saul doctor. Saul had a tough doctrine in those days, according to what they thinking. You know what I mean? It's the one soothsayers. They're gonna be like the soothsayers of the Philistines. Is it Isaiah 2:7? Let me think. I think it's Isaiah 2:7. Now they took that doctrine, right? Yeah, 2:6. Isaiah 2:6. Because we're going back to what we just left off at. My class ain't gonna be that long. It's not that long.
Isaiah 2:6. Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Isaiah 2:6. Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers.
You see, that right now is who we dealing with right now. They got Saul's doctrine. Part of his doctrine. They got so many doctrines over there. They're in the bed with Jezebel.
And you got to remember also, remember whenever David slew Goliath. Whenever he came in there to Saul, Saul went to armor him with his armor, but he gave him brass. They were like, man, I can't use this foolishness. I can't beat this man with this foolishness. Saul was scared because Saul wasn't confident in his doctrine, and they was able to beat it, his doctrine. But whenever David came up in there, David cut off, just like they cut off Saul's head, David cut off Goliath's head. It don't mean he literally cut his head off. All right.
Yeah.
It means that he ended up overthrowing his doctrine. He defeated
whatever
him,
doctrine,
killed him.
whatever doctrine was on his head. We got Christ on our head. That's why it's hard to cut his head off here.
No, you ain't cutting his head off. No, you ain't cutting his head off. You best to keep doing what you're doing.
So when you go back to 1 Samuel 31, I think it was 31, wasn't it? 1 Samuel 31. And 9, okay.
And you want me to start from the beginning?
Yeah.
If you want, yeah, that'd be fine.
1 Samuel chapter 31, verse 9. And they cut off his head and stripped off his armor. And
that doctrine was no good. That person that was on top of it was him. He was pumped up. Cut off that understanding that he had. Read.
And sent into the land of the Philistines round about.
See that doctrine they carried back when we just left. The Philistines got that doctrine. They got the whole understanding of the Saul doctrine. Read.
Publish it in the house of their idols and among the people.
Read.
Verse 10. And they put his armor in the house of Ashtaroth.
Read.
And they fastened his body to the wall of Bethshan.
You see that doctrine, they built that wall also. So when somebody come against them, they can use Saul doctrine. When somebody come against them, they can pick up a dictionary. When somebody come against them, they get a video. When somebody come against them, they'll go to the Jewish people book and pick up that. Then somebody come again, they pick up the Bible. This happening right now.
Yeah.
Right now. They're doing everything. Yep, they patching up. They patching up things. The same thing Ezekiel was saying. They untempered mortar.
Yes.
Y'all see it?
Yes. That wall.
They building up this doctrine of understanding. Read.
Verse 11. And when the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard of that which the Philistines had done to Saul,
they defeated his whole armor bearer and all the crowns. Read.
All the valiant men arose.
They got a little more understanding. Just all they got is a little understanding. That's all.
And went all night.
See that all night? It mentioned it right there. Was still stupid. They were still stupid. But they rose with a little understanding, but they're still stupid. Read.
And took the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons from the wall of Bethshan, and came to Jabesh and burnt them there.
And taught them doctrines. Y'all see that?
They corrected them.
You see that what I'm saying there, Dre?
Yes, sir.
It's because when you burn some coming out your mouth. They be burning them people doctrines right there. They burning their doctrine. I'm not saying that they did not kill them and kill the bodies. That doctrine that they wanted. You see what I'm saying? They destroyed their doctrines, so they burning that fire of them doctrines. They learned all them people doctrines, all them armor bearing doctrines they know. We know all them people doctrines over there. I thought doctrine had been destroyed. When he saw Caleb, that was it. He said, oh, shoot. Oh my God. Cyrus, oh my God. Your doctrine been destroyed. What else you got? Then they build up another thing. Then another thing. We defeat that. We do that. We tear that doctrine down. Squash that doctrine. We already squashed down a woman can teach. We squashed that down when Huldah stood up. Hannah stood up. Deborah stood up. Mary stood up. A woman can't teach. Okay. Every one of them told men what to do.
Right.
Every one of them. So that doctrine been destroyed. And this is what's happening right here. Everything they bringing up, they say, okay, then let's go over this. It's just like Elder Tobiah brought up about death. I mean, I can't find nothing. This a man cannot be cremated, or a woman cannot be cremated or put in the grave. I can't find nothing.
Right.
But I know one thing, that doctrine, if they left a good legacy, it'll keep living.
That's right.
You see that? I'm not a God of the the dead, but of the living.
Right.
Your legacy will keep living. Christ will keep living. You take that level of understanding they had and take what they taught you and share it with someone else. That's what's gonna live. The body gone. The carnal body is in the ground or in the dust or in the ocean or wherever you want to do with it. It's gone.
Yes. That's right.
That's all. It's I believe. That's all, Jack.
That's all. That's right. That's right. It's over.
It's over with. You see how people have made over there in Jerusalem. Now they call that the Holy Land. His body walked the Holy Land. Brother, he dwelt in Jerusalem all over. He said, I dwell in Jerusalem.
Right.
He said this level of understanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
My legacy, my doctrine is in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
The level of understanding. I hope Zariah know what I'm talking about when I say Jerusalem.
Yes, sir. The highway.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Yeah. The easiest one is Acts chapter 1, verse 4. Let's go to that one. Then we'll start class, Elder. Yeah. Acts chapter 1, verse 4. I'm sorry. I forgot the Elder Janice handling thing. Go, girl. I see you. I see you.
Repeat that precept again. Acts what?
Acts chapter 1, verse 4. It's for Jariah. You take this understanding with you. I haven't seen anybody telling somebody now when you die, you ain't gonna get the kingdom if you don't be buried in a certain place. I mean that carnal body. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I can't find it. But I keep looking for it. But I doubt if it's there. I doubt if it's there.
That's right.
But his legacy, his words live on. You remember Most High said, eat nothing from a person. Don't eat anything that dies of itself.
Yes. Believe its own foolishness.
Yes. But because we know we learn from the Most High. His words is the one gonna live forever.
Example of somebody dying of themselves is somebody tell you they create a doctrine saying that a chariot is a UFO and the UFO gonna come get you before the destruction.
There you go.
Now he believing in his own lie.
Yeah.
He believing in his own lie, and then he passing that lie on you. Now you ain't got no proof of nothing that man just said, but Most High warned you, don't eat anything that dies of itself.
That's
and y'all turn around and y'all sitting up here waiting on UFOs to go. Well, they about to drop the nuclear bomb here out the wild, and still ain't no UFOs showed up. And now y'all about to get the punishment for not having sense enough to follow what the Most High said don't do. But y'all don't know what the words mean because y'all following carnal. Y'all got to learn what these words mean. These words important. Go ahead and read that, Elder Misha.
Acts chapter 1, verse 4. And being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith he, ye have heard of me.
Don't leave that understanding behind. You see that, Jariah?
Yes, sir.
Don't, because Paul went everywhere, didn't he? Yeah, all of them went everywhere. How he said, go out. The most Christ told everybody. He said, go and teach every creature.
Yes.
How are you gonna teach every creature and they're in another state?
Right.
How are you gonna teach them?
Right.
And you want me to take Jerusalem with me too? So you can't. How can you do both?
I can't leave the city of Jerusalem at all. But I got to teach the world. That's impossible.
Yes.
You can own, because they ain't had YouTube and all that back in the day. If you're gonna preach somebody, you're gonna have to show up where they at. That's what they was doing. So how the Most High gonna get, just like you taught that class about the Most High just told Moses in Exodus 20 he can't kill. Then the next thing you know, he over here telling him, go ahead and kill the men, kill the women, the children. Knucklehead taught that last night. Talking about, he meant for them to kill all them people. Y'all gonna have to kill these people too.
Are you serious, man?
He said that last night, man.
Oh my God.
Said that last night. So whenever you, like you said, the Most High tell you, don't eat of something that dieth of itself. Now he done went and convinced himself that that's what it means. Now he ain't looking at if it's no contradictions in the Bible, and on the one hand the Most High telling you can't kill, then two chapters later he's saying go over there and kill everything over there. I mean everything. Man, woman, child, cattle, everything. Come on, man. I mean, you wouldn't at least say, well, wait a minute, Moses, didn't you just tell us not to kill?
Yeah, man.
Come on, it must mean something else. It must mean something else. These people, they just follow this foolishness, and whenever they get the punishment that they so deserve, they've earned punishment that they're gonna get because they're listening to this knucklehead and they refuse to ask questions. He said, put your offering on the fire. You got to come ask your questions so you can get proper understanding. David always went to the Lord before he went to battle. He said, are you gonna deliver him in my hand? Okay, well, go over there and ask them, go over there to them Levites over there, see if we can get 2 or 3 precepts of what you about to teach, and I'll let you know. They go on ahead and get the 2, 3 precepts here. I'm gonna deliver him in your hand. Run with that one. And he always won because his stuff was scrutinized. You know, y'all got to understand. Y'all got to go and find out what this stuff means, or else y'all gonna get punished for teaching lies to these people.
Yes, and when we teach, so I know when we teach, sometimes we teach like we're teaching a third party. We're not talking to the elders directly we're talking to the viewers when we, because y'all know this. I'm serious. I know the elders know this, but that's the reason why we talking to the audience also, because it's other people watching us. We got a lot of people watching us now. Yeah, a lot of people watching us, but
there's a whole lot of people watching us. Yes, and it's a lot of them people's elders. Tell you the truth, they just ain't showed themselves, but they've been watching us for a long time.
Yeah,
and people got a lot of understanding out there.